Hello, welcome to today's Here's to Your Health podcast. I'm your host, Don Lintzman. My guest on the podcast today is Heather Rasmussen. Heather Rasmussen is the Chief Quality and Ancillary Services Officer here at CCMH. And Heather, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Don.
I hope I got that right.
You did.
Very good.
Title.
There's a lot of words in there, but that's good.
Yep.
Okay. What we're going to talk about today is epidemiology. In other words, we're going to talk a little bit about health care, general population health. And to be honest, it seems kind of quiet right now.
It does. It does. So, in the state of Iowa, influenza and COVID, which we've been talking about forever, it seems like, are very low. So we've kind of we still focus on it, but we've been kind of taking a look at vector-borne illnesses to, there's a lot of mosquitoes and ticks, and everybody's concerned about that.
So. Right, and those are the kinds of things when we talk about disease or epidemiology in particular. I think a lot of people immediately go to the flu, the COVID,
right.
The coronavirus family. But there's lots more going on. Once you get to spring and now summer, there's a lot more that's going on. When you talk about fleas and ticks and mosquitoes and all the illnesses that they carry, I think maybe we don't have any diagnosed cases today, but it's an opportunity for us to remind people to be careful when you're outside.
Absolutely, yeah. So when we talk about vector-borne illnesses, so the vectors are what they are, just living organisms that can transmit infectious pathogens between humans or from animals to animals. So, a lot of these are blood-sucking insects. They're the ticks, they're the mosquitoes. So they ingest disease-producing microorganisms during the meal that they're having on the infected host or human or animal. And then from there, they become infected, and then they can go infect another human or another animal. So it's, just they bite, they get it, and then their subsequent meals on us.
These are called Meals on Wheels,
Meals
maybe?
on Wheels, they can cause the vector-borne illnesses. So it's just it's a matter of protecting yourself during, the summer months when everybody's outside and we're going for walks and we're going on trails and we're doing things at dusk and all the fun stuff that goes along with summer. We need to be.
And one of those illnesses that we haven't heard a lot about recently is West Nile virus, but that's mosquito-borne.
It is. It's mosquito-borne. There is West Nile in Iowa. We do get, as an infection preventionist of the hospital, I do get emails or notifications from the state of Iowa that there are, mosquitoes or that have West Nile are around. They are in Iowa. I haven't heard that there have been any in Crawford County yet, but in the past we've had West Nile, and we do have to get that reported. So, if the state needs to come in and do what they need to do to mitigate the mosquitoes that are biting with West Nile, that's what they can do.
And I'm going to guess that maybe the only real preventative for that is a bug spray of some sort.
So an insect repellent that has DEET in it, but there are also some other things that mosquitoes love. Mosquitoes love standing water. So if you have a bird bath or all the rain that we're getting, the puddles, repair your screens. If you have holes in your screens or anything like that, we need to do that. If you have shrubbery around your house or weeds or anything like that, keep those trimmed back. And then when you do go outside, wear light colored clothes and use an insect repellent that does have the DEET in it, because that's what repels the mosquitoes.
My guest on the podcast today is Heather Rasmussen. Heather is the Quality and Ancillary Services Chief Officer here at CCMH. We're talking about the epidemiology of being outside in the summertime. Mm-hmm. And you'd like to think that summer comes and we're out of the cold weather and there's no more flu, that maybe we could just sit back and relax, take a deep breath, and just enjoy ourselves. But sometimes it's not exactly the way that this goes.
Yeah.
So we just talked about mosquitoes because that's one thing, but then you have ticks. And ticks carry lots of different kinds of diseases
Ticks
too.
carry a number of diseases. One of the diseases that most people are familiar with ticks is Lyme disease. And we have had in the past, we've had some Lyme disease cases in Crawford County. So Lyme disease is spread to humans through the bite of an infected black-legged tick. Typically the symptoms, for West Nile and for Lyme disease are pretty similar. It's fever, headaches, body aches, fatigue. With Lyme disease, you get a circular rash that often looks like a bullseye. That's usually typically what people see first, that, oh, hey, what do I got going here? If you see that bullseye rash, you need to get in to see your provider. In Lyme disease, a tick typically, not always, but typically has to be attached for more than 24 hours to spread the Lyme disease to the human that they're biting. But Lyme disease, unlike West Nile, because West Nile is a virus, but Lyme disease is a bacteria that can be treated with antibiotics. So it's just one of those things too. Same as with the mosquitoes. If you're going for a walk at yellow smoke or on, somewhere, stay on the path. If you have animals, treat your animals for mosquitoes and ticks. You can go to your vet and get the heart or whatever it's called for fleas and ticks.
Mm-hmm.
And just, again, be mindful of where you're at. And if you have to be in weeds or anything like that when you get home, definitely check yourself for ticks. Ticks you usually find them on your head or behind your ears, maybe in your armpits, around your waistband and around your ankles and stuff like that. And if you see a tick on you, you want to remove that tick, but you want to be careful about removing the tick. So you want to use fine tip tweezers and grasp the tick as close to the surface as you can, and then pull upward with steady, even pressure. Don't jerk it, don't twist it. If you do that, sometimes the head can come off and stay stuck inside the skin. So if that happens and you can get to the head of it, just try to get to it with ticks. And then after you remove the tick, thoroughly clean the bite area. You can soap and water. If you have some rubbing alcohol, some people have iodine at their houses, you can use that. And then dispose of the live tick. Usually what I've heard is submersing it in alcohol, then put it in a sealed bag or container, wrap it tightly, and then flush it down the toilet. Don't ever try to handle a tick with your fingers. Don't try to pull it out with just your fingertips. You need to get some solid pressure on it and pull.
And if you're going to be in the woods, probably you need to wear a hat.
Wear a hat, same thing. If you're going to wear long sleeves, wear pants. You can use the same insect repellent with DEET in it. That will help repel ticks as well. Just be mindful where you're going and protect yourself accordingly.
I knew there was a reason I don't like hiking in the woods.
Yeah.
This I believe is it.
Yeah, me too.
My guest on the podcast today is Heather Rasmussen. Heather is the Chief Quality and Ancillary Services Officer here at CCMH. We're talking about some of the hazards of summertime and living in Iowa. And we're going to talk about two other things yet before I let you go.
Sure.
One is swimming in bodies of water like lakes and rivers.
Mm-hmm.
Pools usually are treated with chlorine, and so
right.
all of the bacteria usually is destroyed. But in rivers and in lakes in particular, there's always that issue of potential bacteria there, and I think that there are any number of skin rashes and other diseases that you can get that come from swimming in those bodies of water. And I'm not so sure that there's much you can do except to make sure that wherever you're going to swim, it's okay, based off of what the Iowa Department of Natural Resources is telling you.
I would definitely be careful. There's the blue-green algae, there's Giardia that you can get. Especially children, if they're going to be swimming or anything in that type of water, be careful that they don't ingest it. And then definitely when you're done for the day, go take a shower and just clean up.
Yeah, make sure the Shigella doesn't stay on you or any of those other kinds of things.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to talk about today, and I think that it's something that we don't spend enough time on. I've seen a number of people recently who have been outside for activities, whether that's ball games or other kinds of things that are going on, and we know that we're just getting into summer now. It's going to be hot. People will really spend a lot of time outside. Sunburn can be very dangerous in certain circumstances, but especially if we're not paying attention to how much time we're spending in the sun, because there's such things known as heat exhaustion and heat prostration, and there's all kinds of things that go along with spending too much time in the sun, and maybe we can talk about that as our last thing today.
Absolutely. If you're going to be in the sun, you need to wear sunscreen, most definitely. SPF 30 or higher. What they say is tan skin is damaged skin, so just be careful. There's skin cancers that can come from sun exposure. If you're going to be in the sun, wear a hat or wear a wide-brimmed hat that can protect your body a little bit. Again, if you can wear long sleeves or pants. And just because you apply sunscreen at 10 a.m. in the morning doesn't mean you shouldn't reapply it at noon. If you can, avoid the sun between 10 and 2. Those are when the UV rays are most dangerous. So just protect yourself. And again, heat stroke, not a fun thing to have, and it is dangerous. So if you are feeling like you're getting hot, get to a cool place quickly and stay hydrated. You can't
for those people who have to work outside. So these are construction workers, maybe guys who are doing flat concrete work, people who are working on the roads. What would you suggest that they pursue? I mean, I like to spend a lot of time in the shade for lots of different kinds of reasons. One, because of the sun, but two, because it's a little cooler over there.
Right.
But for those people who are outside, who are in the heat and in the sun all day, anything in particular that you would recommend to them outside of what we just talked about?
It's really staying hydrated and protecting your skin. Wearing the hats that will protect your scalp, protect your ears. A lot of people forget about their ears. They'll apply sunscreen to their entire body, to their face, and they forget the ears. Wear protective clothing that covers your wrists. If you can wear gloves, same thing. Wear long pants. I know it gets hot and you get hot in that. Take as many breaks as you need and just stay hydrated and be careful.
And from a clothing perspective, maybe something that's a little lighter,
light
perhaps?
color, yep. Light color, a little bit breathable that can maybe get you some air, but yeah, cover your skin. Like I said before, tan skin is damaged skin, so just keep that in mind.
Well, then I'm damaged goods, and that's okay.
Yeah, I am such a believer in sunscreen that I don't leave the house without it.
All the years that I've been spending time outside, I don't know that there's any saving me at this point, but I kind of try to stay out of it as much as I can. I stay indoors a lot, especially during the middle of the day, and I wear a lot of long sleeve shirts and some of those kinds of things. And no matter what, I can't help myself. I still end up with the suntan.
Still end up out there, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So really briefly, people say that makes you look healthy, but what you're saying is that maybe that's a misnomer.
It is a misnomer. Even myself growing up and stuff, oh my gosh, we all had to tan for prom and stuff like that, and the me now wishes I could tell the me then, hey, let's not do that. So
minimize the damage.
Minimize the damage, because if you're tan, your skin is damaged.
Yeah. I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I appreciate it very much. Heather, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Don, very much.
My guest on the podcast today is Heather Rasmussen. Heather is the Chief Quality and Ancillary Services Officer here at CCMH. We're talking about epidemiology and some of the summer hazards that we have that we need to avoid. I'm Don Lintzman, your host for the Here's to Your Health podcast. Have a great day.